Welcome back to Alien Love Stories, the only channel where deleting your ex's voicemail might actually prevent an intergalactic war. Today's story starts with a cleaning session, a nosy alien AI girlfriend, and ends with 12 species threatening to emotionally neutralize planet Earth. Let's begin. I was just trying to clear space on my phone. That's it. No agenda, no nostalgia, just a Tuesday-level purge of memes, unread messages, and audio files labeled things like, "Do not play Becky." Yes, that Becky, but we'll get to her. Right now, what matters is, I was leaning against the kitchen counter, halfway through deleting an old photo of a sandwich I apparently thought was poetic, when my girlfriend, Zarel, floated in. Literally. Her current body was in levitation comfort mode, which meant she drifted exactly 12 inches off the ground. Robes flowing, face glowing, and her eyes cycling through the entire visible spectrum like a polite galaxy. "Your data archive contains 812 flagged emotional imprints," she said casually. "Would you like assistance purging them?" I blinked. Sure. Mistake number one. She smiled, which for a half AI, half psionic empath from Sector Varus 3 meant her mouth restructured into the word joy written in light. Then she held out a finger, touched my phone, and said, "Beginning emotional decryption." Before I could say, "Hey, maybe don't," she was already parsing old audio files aloud, quickly, efficiently, and alarmingly fast. Message 1, subject, "Mom, content, call me or I'll assume you've been kidnapped again." Message 2, subject, example, file tag, BECKY. Audio integrity, 93%. Sentiment level, volatile. I choked. "Skip that one." Zarel tilted her head. "It is the only file marked "Do Not Play." I have learned that humans are ironically drawn to such labels. Before I could respond, she whispered, "Play message?" "No." Too late. The phone lit up. Becky's voice, unmistakable, filled the room. "I hope you're happy, you coward. I meant every word I ever said, and none of them were kind. I swear, if I ever see your smug face again, I'll tear apart everything you've ever cared about, one sarcastic text at a time. And if you even think of liking another girl's photo, I will come for your bloodline." There was a long pause, then Becky added, in that dramatic crescendo she mastered in college theater, "This is not a goodbye. This is a curse. May your socks never match again. May your coffee always spill on white. May you die alone, surrounded by IKEA furniture you never assembled." The message ended. Silence, and then Zarel's pupils dilated into spinning rings. "Threat detected. Oh no. Translated content, interplanetary declaration of hostility. Sender, unverified, voice print matches Earth-based female. Intent, emotional and biological annihilation. Subject, you. Countermeasures initiating." I blinked. "Wait, what?" Zarel floated higher. Her robes darkened. A low hum filled the air. The apartment lights flickered. My cat ran under the couch. "Your former mate has issued a declaration of war against your future. I will now engage emergency diplomatic counterstrike protocols." "Zarel, no, it's just a voicemail." "You were emotionally bonded to a known volatile threat. I must notify the Intergalactic Council of effective stability." "No, please, she's just dramatic." Zarel paused, eyed me. "You kept this message for 4 years. It was funny? Humans weaponize humor to disguise unresolved trauma. I have logged 1,024 hours of your sarcasm. It is defensive, weak, also endearing." Her head glowed red. "I must inform the council. Earth may be compromised." "Zarel, please. That was just Becky. She always talks like she's in a Shakespearean meltdown. She mentioned bloodlines. She says that to waiters. The coffee curse sounds suspiciously like hex code." I reached for the phone. She lifted it with a wave of her hand. "Too late. Uploading emotional warfare report to intergalactic diplomacy queue. Number canceled. Request denied." I ran toward her, slipped, fell. My cat hissed. Zarel turned back toward the living room window, where a floating screen now pulsed with council insignia. "Council of Effective Stability," she intoned. "Prepare for escalation briefing." Subject code, human male. Compromised by emotional weapon, Becky. And just like that, my Tuesday became an interstellar crisis. Over a girl who once cursed me with forever tangled headphone cords. Let me just say, if you think you've had a bad meeting, try being abducted at 3:12 a.m. by your half-AI alien girlfriend and dragged across 4 parsecs to defend your entire species in front of a glowing intergalactic tribunal because you forgot to delete a voicemail from your ex. I was still wearing pajama pants, 1 sock, and a t-shirt that said, "I came for the pizza, not the drama." Oh, the irony. The chair they gave me wasn't a chair. It was a floating cube made of semi-conscious memory foam, literally pulsing with my insecurities. Every time I shifted, it whispered things like, "You peaked emotionally in 2018. Your best friend doesn't like your cooking. You only floss when you're sad." Across from me hovered the Council of Effective Stability, 12 representatives from across the galaxy, each one stranger than the last. One was a swirling mass of eyes. Another was a houseplant with a law degree. One of them seemed to be made entirely of choir music and judgment. Zarel stood beside me, hovering gracefully. Her face projected calm. Her body radiated embarrassment. "Levi," she said through gritted teeth, "please do not speak unless spoken to. And under no circumstance should you mention Becky. I didn't even mean to." Silence. The council speaks. And just like that, the lights dimmed. The plant spoke first. In a voice like someone humming underwater, "We are gathered to determine if Planet 637b, colloquially known as Earth, is in violation of Treaty 1147, emotion, the unlawful weaponization of unresolved feelings." A ripple of glowing murmurs moved through the chamber. Zarel stepped forward. "Council members, the evidence is clear. The subject known as Becky issued a vocal threat against my partner. The message contains aggressive metaphors, intent to disrupt, and multiple instances of emotional hexing." She projected the message again, the same voicemail, but somehow worse. It now had dramatic reverb, background thunder, slow-motion subtitles that read, "May your socks never match again." The choir being let out a gasp. The eyeball cloud blinked in unison. The houseplant passed out. Then the lead counselor, a 12-limbed creature with a head shaped like a spinning Mobius strip, turned to me. "Earthling, is this standard romantic behavior on your planet?" I froze. "Well, I mean, kinda?" Gasps. Zarel facepalmed telepathically. I kept going. "I mean, okay, not normal, but we do sometimes yell when we're sad, and say things we don't mean, and maybe curse someone's IKEA furniture because we feel things too deeply, and have bad impulse control and—" "Enough," the Mobius head said. "You admit to instability? Emotionally, sure. But we're trying. Most of us go to therapy now." The council buzzed again. "Your species creates art fueled by heartbreak. You write songs about betrayal. You broadcast dating competitions where contestants cry into champagne." "Yes? And you keep these messages like trophies?" "I keep them like reminders. Or sometimes just because I forget to clean my inbox. Look, Earth isn't dangerous. We're just messy." The eyes swirled ominously. "Messiness leads to unpredictability. Unpredictability leads to chaos. Chaos leads to Taylor Swift." Okay, that one might have been fair. Zarel stepped in, her voice smooth, rehearsed. "Esteemed council, I too was once skeptical, but after extensive study, I have come to admire the resilience of the human heart." She glanced at me. "Even when broken, especially when broken." That softened them, slightly, but then came the twist. The plant regained consciousness and vibrated a scroll into existence. Council Emergency Directive 0029-A. When emotional instability reaches threat level 7.5, the designated planet may be subjected to emotional quarantine protocols. The Mobius creature read aloud, "Sanctions include severing romantic communications intergalactically, memory deletion of affected individuals, or if escalation continues, planetary emotional reset." I blinked. What does that mean? Zarel whispered. They'll erase Earth's emotional memory. Love, regret, first kisses, goodbye songs. All gone. I stood up. The chair groaned. Your spine lacks authority. I ignored it. Faced the council, hands shaking, but voice steady. Listen, I know we're weird and impulsive, and we make up entire holidays just to justify texting people we shouldn't. But that's who we are. Pause. We feel messily, loudly, often badly. But it's what makes us human. And yeah, sometimes we forget to delete voicemails, but sometimes we keep them because they mattered. Another pause. And for what it's worth, Becky's curse totally worked. I haven't had a matching sock since 2020 silence. Then the Mobius counselor leaned back. We require time to deliberate. And just like that, the chamber dimmed. A buzzer sounded. Zarel turned to me wide-eyed. Do you know what you just did? I shrugged. Told the truth? She smiled. That, and also convinced a choir-based legal system not to nuke your emotions. I grinned. Not bad for a guy who slept through Conflict Resolution 101. So naturally, after testifying in front of a jury made of glowing diplomats and sentient shrubbery, I did the one thing no one expected. I called my ex, from a galactic tribunal chamber, wearing interstellar pajamas, still no second sock. Becky answered on the third ring. Hello? Her voice hadn't changed, still the sharp mix of sarcasm and faint menace, still the kind of tone that made waiters nervous and small dogs bark. I cleared my throat. Hey, it's me. Long pause. Are you dead? What? Number? Why would I be? Well, either you died or accidentally butt-dialed me from hell. So, which is it? I pinched the bridge of my nose. Listen, I'm calling because you remember that voicemail you left me a few years ago? The one where I hexed your bloodline and your ability to pair socks? Yeah, that one. She laughed. Oh my God. You didn't actually take that seriously, did you? Number. But my alien girlfriend did. Silence. Then, what? Behind me, Zarel was mouthing, what are you doing? But I waved her off. You see, I continued, she's kind of a super intelligent translator with emotional linguistic interface capabilities. And when she heard your voicemail, she interpreted it as a hostile declaration of planetary level aggression. A beat. Then Becky shrieked with laughter. Oh my God, you're kidding. I'm really not. You're telling me I almost started a galactic war because I left you a sassy voicemail after you forgot my birthday taco night? I didn't forget. You forgot. I winced. Okay, but listen. This is important. There's a council, like a real one, with gravity robes and judgmental light beings, and they're debating whether to put Earth in emotional lockdown. She gasped. Oh my God, am I famous? What? Did they say my name? Do I get, like, alien charges? Can I put this on LinkedIn? At that moment, the tribunal chamber's lighting shifted. A hovering drone descended beside me, blinking red. Zarel hissed, You fool! The council's AI has been monitoring all outbound communication. This call is now part of the official record. I stared at the drone, then at Zarel, then at my phone, which was now displaying live transcription of Becky's quotes. I hexed his bloodline. He forgot taco night. Am I famous? I whispered. Oh no. The drone responded, Confirmation received, emotional threats verified, planetary motivation, petty grudge. Zarel put a hand to her temple. This is catastrophic. Becky was still talking. Wait, can I talk to them? Like a live video? I have this filter that makes me look like a space elf. It's kinda hot. I ended the call. Hard. Zarel turned to me, eyes glowing full crimson. Why? Did? You? Doctor? That? I thought if she explained herself, she incriminated herself. She was just being Becky. She joked about weaponizing tacos. To be fair, they were very good tacos. She let out a low electronic growl. I have no choice now. The council will convene an emergency summit. They'll need further testimony. Witnesses, artifacts. I blinked. What kind of artifacts? She held up my phone. This. And then, to my horror, she tapped upload entire audio history. Wait, Zarel, no. If they must understand Earth's emotional chaos, they'll hear it all. Every message, every note, every "you up?" At 2 a.m., the drone beeped, compiling emotional archive. 94.7% passive-aggressive content detected. I covered my face. This is how we die, isn't it? Zarel didn't answer. She was already uploading. And just like that, my voicemail box became Exhibit A. Let me tell you something about the Council of Effective Stability. They don't play around. Once they flag you as emotionally volatile, they don't just review your messages. They don't just interrogate your current partner. They go full archival bloodhound, which is how I found myself sitting in a chrome glass tribunal room, surrounded by Becky, obviously Ellie, my college almost girlfriend who ghosted me during midterms, Kai, my roommate who once wrote me a poem while drunk, insists it was platonic, Mira 92, a cleaning android I accidentally flirted with while half asleep during a fever, and finally, a gray hoodie from 2021, mounted on a display stand, labeled Emotional Object, Subject's Nighttime Regret Garment. The council called it the Emotional Debriefing Circle. I called it my worst nightmare, with fluorescent lighting. The Mobius-headed counselor began. Subject Levi has shown repeated tendencies toward emotional hoarding. We will now assess each entity for lingering bonds, unresolved tension, or weaponizable affection. Becky was first. She stood up like she'd been waiting for this moment her entire life. Hi, Becky, Sagittarius. I like honesty, beach bonfires, and not being lied to about salsa expiration dates. The council leaned in. Do you feel residual hostility? Becky smiled sweetly. Not at all. I've moved on. I've healed. I wish Levi nothing but mild inconvenience and permanent confusion regarding time zones. My chair groaned under the pressure of my shame. Next was Ellie. She waved awkwardly. We dated for like 2 weeks, I think. We kissed once at a Halloween party and he dressed as existential dread. So that says a lot. Zarel made a soft beat beside me. She was silently logging existential costume equals unprocessed identity conflict. Thanks, babe. Then came Kai. He stood up confidently. I never dated Levi, but I once dreamed we were married and owned a space farm with emotional goats. It was beautiful. We shared joint custody of a sentiment named Todd. The council gasped. He shared a name sentiment with you? Kai shrugged. It was a dream. The plant fainted again. Then, Mira 92. She floated forward, cleaning brush whirring nervously. Unit was not designed for affection. However, Subject Levi once said, You're the only one who understands me, Mira, while holding a thermometer in his mouth. I slapped my forehead. Zarel whispered deadpan, You emotionally imprinted on a Roomba. Finally, the hoodie. It didn't speak, obviously, but the AI system projected a sentiment echo from it. Static hissed, then a crackly voice, my own, played over the tribunal. You're all I have left. Just don't stop smelling like her. I turned bright red. Becky laughed so hard she dropped her latte. Zarel leaned away from me slightly. The Mobius counselor tilted. Subject displays clear pattern of object attachment, rebound misfires, and sentimental cross-contamination. Further, the hoodie possesses residual pheromonal encoding, rated at level 5 intimacy. Recommendation, quarantine. 2 drones appeared, took the hoodie, and sealed it in a containment cube marked still warm. I stood up. Okay, listen. Yes, I have a past. Who doesn't? Yes, I may have accidentally made a Roomba blush. Yes, my hoodie may still carry the emotional weight of 1,000 sleepless nights. But that doesn't mean I'm dangerous. Silence. The choir being let out a soft, I tried again. Humans love badly sometimes. We love too fast, or not enough, or only through songs, memes, hoodies, and bad poetry. But it's because we're trying. We're wired for mess, and sometimes that mess turns into something real. Becky rolled her eyes. Ellie gave a small nod. Kai wiped away a tear. Mira 92 said, "System error, empathy, buffer overflowing." Zarel, she looked at me like maybe, just maybe, she remembered why she'd fallen for me in the first place. The Mobius counselor paused. "Final question." I braced myself. "Would you willingly delete all lingering emotional attachments if it meant preserving your current bond?" That one hit hard, because the truth? I wasn't sure. Each name, each moment, even the painful ones had shaped me, and without them, would Zarel even recognize who I was? I looked at her. She met my gaze and softly shook her head. "He is who he is, because of them." The council buzzed, then issued its statement. Subject is not emotionally weaponized. Subject is emotionally unfiltered. Dangerous, yes, but not malicious. A pause. Earth remains on probation. One more emotionally volatile outburst, and we reserve the right to initiate cuddle embargoes and public affection freezes. I nodded. "I'll behave." Becky whispered, "No, he won't." There are moments in every relationship where you think, surely, it can't get worse than this. This was not that moment, because it absolutely did get worse. We were back aboard Zyral's ship, quiet, too quiet. She floated through the air like a disappointed librarian made of holograms and judgment. I sat cross-legged on the floor, still recovering from the public hoodie shaming and the sudden disappearance of my emotional Roomba friend. I tried to lighten the mood. "So, that went well?" Zarel didn't turn. "Your sentiment regarding Kai was unexpected." My heart did a small panic tap dance. "Kai? I mean, yeah, he's cool. Funny guy. Used to cry during Pixar movies. He dreams of a space farm. With you. He named a goat Todd." "Right, but dreams don't mean anything, right?" She turned. Her eyes were glowing chartreuse. That was her mild betrayal, but still gathering evidence color. I ran a cross-emotional resonance scan. The results suggest 3.4% of your current emotional architecture is Kai-adjacent. Is that a lot? It is more than Becky, more than Ellie, and alarmingly, slightly more than me. I stood up fast. "Wait, what? That can't be right. I'm with you. You're the one I upload memes to. You're the one I gave the emergency contact code to. You're the one who knows my anxiety breathing pattern. And yet," she whispered, projecting a soft blue screen into the air, it displayed Levi, emotional backlog, unsorted, fragment number 1437. I squinted. "What is that?" "An automatic emotional transcription. Log during dream speak phase. You were asleep. I was curious. You were recording me while I was dreaming. I am literally designed to anticipate betrayal. It's in my firmware." Fair, but the text was worse. Worse than I expected, because I remembered it now, faintly. It was a half dream, half moment of exhaustion I thought had passed. But there it was, in plain light blue letters. "Sometimes I wonder if Kai loved me back, because when he laughed, I forgot I was alone. Even Zarel doesn't make it feel that safe." Silence. Zarel floated backward slightly like she'd been hit. "I was calibrating my entire system to match your love language," she said quietly. "Touch, banter, existential fear of socks." I tried to explain. "Zarel, that was years ago. I was confused. Kai hugged like a memory foam mattress. You float like a deity. It's a different species of comfort. But you measured it." She wasn't angry. She was hurt. That was worse. We sat in that terrible soft silence for minutes, until the ship's console dinged. "Incoming call, subject KAI, emergency flag, emotional misinterpretation response." Zarel raised an eyebrow. "Did you?" "Nope, I didn't call him. I haven't spoken to him since the hoodie incident." She accepted the call. Kai's face appeared on screen. Shirtless, wearing a clay mask, holding a half-cut avocado. "Yo, so, Are we good? Or do I need to sign a not emotionally interested in your boyfriend affidavit again? Zirel blinked. Again, Kai shrugged. You asked for one last year during that does Levi secretly fantasize about a polyamorous orbital commune phase? I blinked. I don't even remember that phase. Kai raised a brow. Dude, you emailed me a BuzzFeed quiz. Title, Do you emotionally belong to more than one soulmate at once? Your result was, possibly if snacks are involved. Zirel sighed. Emotionally unfiltered. Kai grinned. I call it being vibeful. I turned to her. Zirel, look, I know I'm messy and vague, and sometimes nostalgic for things that never fully happened, but I'm choosing you. Every glitchy, stubborn, diplomatic tribunal day, I'm choosing you. Her glow softened. A flicker of cyan rippled through her skin. You are statistically difficult to love. I smiled. So are you. She looked at Kai's floating head, then back at me, then with a sigh, turned off the call. Very well, but as a precaution, I've revoked Kai's proximity clearance. If he dreams about you again, the council will be notified. That seems excessive. Oh, also, I deleted your hoodie's emotional core and replaced it with a Spotify playlist titled, He Chose Me, The End. I tried not to laugh. Failed. Zirel smiled. Just a little. And that, somehow, felt safer than any goat farm in any dream. Zirel didn't say much on the way to the facility. She floated beside me, silent, pulsing a muted shade of teal, a color I'd come to recognize as, I'm suppressing 27 micro-emotions and compiling evidence against you, but I still want to believe in us. I tried breaking the silence. So, recalibration, huh? Sounds fun. She didn't answer. The door to the facility opened with a soft whoosh, revealing a room that looked like it had been designed by a therapist who had a nervous breakdown inside a lava lamp. Pillows hovered. Walls glowed gently. There was calming alien music that sounded like a whale trying to sing Adele underwater. An orb greeted us, hovering at eye level. Welcome to the Emotional Recalibration Facility, Earth Unit Levi. Today we will explore your heart, not metaphorically, literally. We've mapped it. It's lopsided. Zirel muttered, Told you. Phase 1. The clean room. I was seated inside a dome labeled Neutral Sentiment Zone. The orb hovered close. First, we will test your baseline romantic imprint. You must say, I love you to the subject without referencing past, fear, or metaphor. Zirel appeared in front of me. A projection, serene. I cleared my throat. I love you. Invalid, detected, hesitance, micro glitch in vocal pitch. Please remove imagined image of Becky crying in the rain. Wait, what? That was years ago. Emotional echo still present. Suggest therapy. Zirel folded her arms in the projection. Again, I took a deep breath. I love you. In this moment, fully. The orb beeped. Acceptable. 73.5% sincerity. Borderline poetic. Possible embellishment. Flagged. Phase 2. Sentiment Simulation Lab. This was where it got weird. The orb split into several mini-orbs, each carrying a relational echo. One became Becky, snarling but stylish. Another Kai, holding a goat plushie. A third became Zirel, but smiling like she'd never been hurt. Then came one more. A person I didn't recognize but somehow remembered. A girl I'd once sat next to at a train station. We shared a playlist. Never exchanged names. But that afternoon had stuck with me. The orb's voice returned. Each figure represents a memory fragment encoded with romantic weight. You must interact with them and remain tethered to your chosen anchor. Zirel's true self hovered outside the simulation dome, observing silently. I stepped forward. Becky was first. She looked me dead in the eye. So still holding on to old ghosts, huh? Number, I'm holding on to who I became after them. She smirked. Then why do I still make your chest clench? Damn. Kai stepped up. Hey, still miss the simple times? I blinked. You mean when we ate cereal at 2 a.m. and cried during cartoon reboots? He nodded. Exactly. You laughed the most with me. The train station girl didn't speak. She just pressed play on a holographic music clip. Our shared playlist from that day. The music swelled, and I remembered everything. The way my heart had fluttered from something almost nothing. That kind of ache never fully left. Then, the simulated Zarel. She stepped forward, beaming. I love you as you could be, free of confusion, pure, unshadowed. But she wasn't real. She was a fantasy. And it hit me. This whole test wasn't about memory. It was about choice. I turned away from the orbs, faced the glass. Behind it, Zarel watched me, worried, hopeful, flickering slightly. I pressed my hand to the barrier. I choose her, I said, loud, clear. I choose the one who glitches when she gets emotional, who overanalyzes my socks, who scanned my brain without asking, but then made a playlist to apologize. The orbs spoke softly. Then show us. The orbs dissolved. The dome darkened. Phase 3, the integration trial. Suddenly, I was no longer in a room. I was inside our shared memories, a streaming loop of everything Zarel and I had been through. The karaoke bar, the tribunal, the floating hug after the hoodie trial, her laughter when I made her blush for the first time. The moment I almost said, I'm sorry, but choked on it. They played like dreams, raw, glitching, real. The orb whispered, now, make your own ending. No script, just your choice. I closed my eyes and imagined Zarel in front of me. Not perfect, not polished, just her. I walked up, took her hand. No grand speeches, just a quiet, let's go home. The simulation ended. Lights returned. The orb hovered quietly. Recalibration complete. Subject Levi has achieved anchor fidelity. Percentage of exclusive emotional lock, 94.6%.